Alright guys, so I did a video about a week or two ago and I talked about how, my time with the JL Wrangler is not up yet, but it will be before too long. And so I'm kind of thinking about what I might replace it with, and there's a 99% chance that that's going to be a pickup truck. So I've been kind of looking at some of the off-road models like the Ram Rebel, the Ram Power Wagon. Today I test drove a Chevy Colorado ZR2 with the Duramax diesel engine. So I'm going to tell you what I thought about it. I wish that I had recorded some footage while I was there, but it was just not a good time to do that. The salesmen were just really crazy, hectic and everything, and didn't have time to let me get into all that. So I'll just share with you my thoughts on it. Now before I do that, I want to mention that I've had just about every brand of truck out there, everything you can think of. So I don't want you to think I'm just bashing Chevy here, but I'm going to be honest with you. The ZR2 did not impress me. So let's talk about, first of all, the ride quality. The ZR2 is well known for its suspension, right? Everybody knows the ZR2 has this awesome suspension. Well, the problem with the suspension is that it's kind of firm. So if you're not expecting that, it kind of throws you off a little bit. I went in there thinking, if this thing can soak up all those whoops off-road and jumps and everything, then on-road it's going to be plush, it's going to be smooth, it's going to feel great, right? And that's not at all what I experienced. It was kind of firm, almost stiff, and the steering was a little bit vague, which kind of surprised me for an IFS rig. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the steering on a Wrangler, but it wasn't as good as the IFS that I've had in other trucks. So the steering just didn't impress me. The ride quality did not impress me. Obviously, I didn't get to take the truck off-road, but on-road, it just wasn't really impressive. The diesel engine, man, I tell you what, that engine is basically the same engine that they used in the 05, 06 Jeep KJ, also known as the Liberty. And I had a couple of those. And in those Jeeps, and I think they weighed a little over 4,000 pounds, and that engine was very awesome. I mean, it was responsive. If you just dipped into the throttle a little bit, the torque would kind of put you back in the seat. Not like a race car, but you could feel the rush of torque just by dipping into the throttle without downshifting. I mean, that's what diesel's all about, right? On the ZR2, they're using that same engine, but it's an updated version of the engine, obviously. 10 years, 15 years have passed, so it's an updated version. But it's basically the same engine, so I expected it to feel like those Jeeps felt, but that's not how it was at all. In the ZR2, it's very sluggish, slow. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I drove it on the highway and around town for a little while, and it just shocked me at how weak it felt. When I got back into my Wrangler with the V6, it felt like a race car compared to that thing. I mean, it was just really sluggish. And the transmission, they've got the 6-speed automatic in the ZR2 with the diesel. Can't get an 8-speed or a 10-speed like the other trucks, full-size trucks are getting. They're stuck with the 6-speed in those models. And it was real clunky. The shifts were very noticeable. It wasn't smooth. I don't know, man. The driving characteristics just did not impress me at all. They really didn't. As far as the fit and finish on the interior, the seats were terrible. They were hard, flat. The driving position was kind of weird because it felt like everything was like way down here and I had to reach out to get to the steering wheel. And I'm a fairly tall guy, so I had the seat adjusted where my legs were comfortable, and then I had to reach way out with my arms to get to the wheel and everything. I could have put the seat down and moved forward a little bit to make myself more comfortable, up here, but then my legs would have been all cramped. It was just a strange and kind of odd shape for the seating position. And again, the seats were just kind of flat, no support. The bolstering didn't feel real good. I was just not impressed with it at all. The sticker price on the one that I tested was like $51,000, okay? And there was not really anything about the truck that blew me away. The engine was weak, or at least it felt weak. The transmission was kind of old-fashioned. The ride quality was kind of rough. The handling was not great. The interior felt a little bit dated by today's standards. I mean, the truck just didn't impress me, and especially for the price, because when you're talking $45,000, $50,000, now you're getting into that range where you can get all kinds of different trucks, right? So I'm glad that I went and test drove it, because now I know that I don't want one of those. I can mark it off the list for sure. But hey, if you guys have gotten the chance to drive a ZR2 or a Z71 that has that eco diesel, did I just say eco diesel? It's not an eco diesel, it's a Duramax. See, I'm still thinking Mopar. If you've driven one of those Duramax trucks, let me know what you think. I'm not impressed, obviously, but everybody has different, feelings and opinions about it. So let me know what you guys thought. So anyway, I might check out a couple other things later this week. I'm gonna go look at the Rebel, and if they have a Power Wagon, I'll check that one out too. Maybe we'll get some cool footage too. So anyway, just thought I would drop you a note and let you know about that. That was just my feelings on it. So for whatever it's worth, we'll talk to you guys later on. Got to take the JL over to the dealer Friday for another software update, trying to fix that dash message where it tells me to press the clutch even though it's an automatic. We're going to try and fix that again. So if I get any updates on that, I'll pass them along to you. Thanks for watching.